Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is a big one. In terms of EA WRC car classes that get the most attention in game and provide some of the most competitive leaderboards is WRC2. So it's about time we find out which WRC2 car is fastest, which is slowest, and some of the handling quirks of each of the cars so that you can get an edge on the competition. Before we get into it, being a small channel like this, it means massive amounts to me for every like gained and subscriber earned. So if you're into the content, it would be great if you could support the channel. Your choice, of course. Right, so to remind you of how I make this whole goat or boat thing fair again, I do at least 3 runs in each car on each stage, and I don't do these one after the other. I'll do 1 run in each car and repeat this process 3 times before comparing performances. I do this to remove any bias in running order, as I get more familiar with the stages and cars. I also only use stock setups to ensure the most fair and accurate circumstances for the standard user across all cars. As always, the test stages I use are Laja in Chile and Ancel in Monte Carlo. I believe these stages provide a good mix of corner style to better test each car's capability. Okay then, as always, let's meet the contenders. On paper, these cars are all very similar due to regulations. They all weigh in at 1230 kilograms with 4-cylinder 1600 engines and roughly the same power output, with a range of only 28 brake horsepower between most and least powerful. Should be pretty even, right? Wrong. Okay, first up we have the Citroën C3 Rally 2 flying the flag for France. Then we have M Sport's Ford Fiesta Rally 2. Followed by the Korean offering in the form of the Hyundai i20N Rally 2 car. To Europe now for the first and older of our 2 Skoda offerings, in this, the Skoda Fabia Rally 2 Evo. And now onto its younger and slightly more powerful Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2, dressed in the real-world livery designed by our very own Sims Racing. Check out his YouTube channel if you haven't already. And finally, we have the Volkswagen Polo GTI R5 with a few years of neglect behind it, but it remains very much a fan favourite. Which of these cars do you think will be the goat or boat of the WRC2 class in EA WRC? Let's find out first with the gravel test. Well, I for one was expecting this to be pretty close, but boy was I wrong. We had a very clear winner and by a margin that shocked me considering the WRC2 class is so heavily regulated. The Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2 in my gravel testing came out over 7 seconds faster than its nearest competitor. And that on a stage under 6 minutes in length. So that's over a second per kilometre quicker than any other WRC2 car. If you're hunting top gravel times and using anything other than the Fabia RS, you're doing it wrong. Change your ride and watch those stage times drop considerably. Fabia RS just does everything a little bit better. Perceptibly more acceleration and better mid-corner grip, and with no real handling quirks make this all-rounder the absolute meta for all drivers on gravel regardless of driving style. As for the rest of the field, in joint second place we have the Fiesta and the i20N, with both cars being within 1/10 of a second of each other. I really couldn't split these two on gravel despite the different driving styles required for each. The Fiesta really likes to get sideways. Feels like it has less grip in all phases and that it'll end up slower as a result, but somehow it manages to be quick. Really quick. So if you like your car to be moving around underneath you and you prefer to throw shapes through corners, then this could be a really good option for you. On the other hand, the i20 is perfect if your name is Sebastian or you generally like to keep the nose of the car pointing down range. Drive this car in a neat and tidy fashion, keeping it as straight as possible, and you'll be rewarded on the leaderboards. It really favours that classic racetrack method of slow in, fast out, but if you do get it sliding, it feels like it bogs down a little more than some of the other options in class. It's around 1 second overall behind those two, we have the old Fabia, the Evo, which, like its younger, faster sibling, is a good all-round competitor that can be driven as you choose. No real answer on why it's a little slower than the Fiesta and the i20, but I imagine it's just the little bit less power it has on board that does it here. It's not far enough behind to completely discount, however, particularly if you like to get your tune on. Down at the bottom then, we have the underpowered Polo and C3, with the Polo invariably coming out quicker and feeling the most consistent and pleasant to drive of the two, though it's unlikely to trouble the others, being a good 2 seconds slower than the other cars in class and a colossal 9 seconds down on the Fabia RS. The C3 is slower still and really feels limp compared to the others in class. Whilst close to the Polo, within around a second, it feels super soft and vague at times. And I really had to wrestle the car through the stage to get the best out of it. A little tuning might sharpen it up, but I feel it's always going to be languishing at the back of the pack. What about Tarmac then? Well, I'm afraid it's more of the same, though with less of a gap this time around. I have the Fabia RS at around 3 seconds faster than anything else in WRC2, and again, it just does everything a little bit better than the others. Another clear choice if you're hunting leaderboards. Bit of a change in second place, however, with the Fiesta being nudged down the order, being replaced by the i20 and the Fabia Evo, which are pretty comparable in terms of times. The Fiesta falls behind those two by a second, and I think it's just due to the looser nature of the M Sport offering, making it a little less competitive. No change at the bottom though, with the Polo beating the C3 by around a second, but still 5 seconds down overall compared to the Fabia RS. And the C3 again, just a little diluted in feeling compared to its competition. It's been done a little dirty in EAWRC for sure. In conclusion then, and by an absolute landslide, we award the GOAT to the Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2, just dominating WRC2 and the obvious and only choice currently for TT hunters and club competitors who want the best kit for the best times in EAWRC. And no surprises, the boat goes to the Citroen C3. I'm not a big fan of how it handles, and it feels weak in terms of power delivery also, which all contributes to making this car a real challenge if quick times are your thing. Let me know in the comments what you think and which car you prefer. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if there's a particular class you want me to show next, then let it be known in the comments, and also like and subscribe for more. See you later.